I, Chair Travis Argy, call the live hybrid state plumbing board meeting of February 16th, 2023 to order at 9:30 a.m. Debbie, will you please do the roll?
Yes, sir. Chair Travis Argy.
Here.
And he's present in the room. Absent, Vice Chair Matthew Roselle. Craig Anderson.
Here.
Thank you. He's virtual. And Corey Fraser just called in this morning. He is on vacation, so he is excused. Melissa Gett.
Here.
Thank you. Also virtual. Molly Keller.
Here.
Thank you, Molly. And she is virtual. And Joe LeBold. I don't see him yet, but Mr. Chair, we do have a quorum, so you can continue on with your meeting.
All right, thank you. Is there any changes to the agenda or order of business? All right, hearing none. I, Chair Argy, rule the agenda of the order of business approved. Have there been any changes to the draft meeting minutes? Hearing none, order them final. So the date of the next scheduled meeting is April 20th, 2023. All right. Pierre, will you please see if there's any public comment?
Were you going to do an introduction first, Todd? He was going to do a quick introduction for me and Emily.
Okay.
If that's okay. Morning, Chair Argy, members of the board, Todd Smith, Policy and Technical Services Manager with the division. I did want to give a quick update on some staffing changes here for the board that are relevant. First one up is Pierre Sabagh. He's our new policy analyst assigned to the plumbing board. Welcome, Pierre. And then we also have a new contested case representative, Emily Roque, who will be speaking a little bit later in the agenda. She comes to us from the Department of Ag, where she was also involved in enforcement. So welcome, Emily. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, so I guess Emily is next.
We'll do public comment now.
Public comment? Oh.
Yeah.
I told you it'd been a little bit.
Thank you, Todd, and thank you, Chair. Pierre Sabagh, Policy Analyst with the division. As of this morning, we hadn't received any requests to give public comment to the board, so we'll hold the line open for a few moments in case there's anyone here that didn't sign up that would like to provide any public comment. So if you would like to give any general public comment to the board, please identify yourself now. Hearing none, back to you, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. All right, now it's Emily's turn.
Good morning, Chair Argy, members of the board. For the record, Emily Roque, contested case representative for the division. Before the board is one default order. No action is required by the board. However, I'm available if you have any questions. A summary of this order is included in a chart in your packet. This is case 2021-0181, Andrew Moresi. This default order relates to an incident in which Moresi directed a person who was not licensed to glue together ABS drain and vent piping in October of 2021. The violation was procuring or assisting another person to engage in conduct or activity for which a license is required, with a total penalty assessed of $2,000. Again, no action is required by the board for this default order. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody that has any questions for her? All right, thank you. All right, next is plumbing program with Andy.
Thank you, Chair Argy, members of the board. For the record, my name is Andy Skinner. I'm the plumbing program chief for the State of Oregon Building Codes Division. I'd like to update the board today on just a couple of things. First of all, we completed our first and only code committee meeting last Thursday on the 9th. We were able to get through all 49 items on the matrix. Again, as I'd been communicating to industry and to the board, and that we were kind of having a soft lift on the code this cycle. So thank you to all the committee members that participated. Really appreciate their input. Next, just kind of an update on the complex structure rule that we've been communicating with the board on. We had 2 racks on that particular rule, and we're still getting a little bit of feedback from industry, so we should have that to the board here soon. The only other thing I have for the board today is just an update. And Molly, if you've got any more you want to speak on this, I was just going to let the board know that OA finally has their rule effective that on the 333 rules for backflow devices. And so that became effective on 2/1 of 2023. Is there any questions?
Anybody have anything for Andy? Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Andy. Okay, next is Executive Order 2302, Manager Smith.
Good morning again, Chair Argue, members of the board, Todd Smith, Policy and Technical Services Manager with the division. You'll see in your packet, we've included 3 executive orders, 2302, 2303, and 2304. They're all related to the governor's actions so far on the homelessness and housing crisis here in Oregon. I'll give you a quick rundown of them. The first one is just declaring the state of emergency. That kind of sets up the next 2. The second one, 2303, direct state agencies to prioritize reducing homelessness in our decision-making. We will be doing that as part of our regular work. Probably not a huge impact on the board, except for maybe a little bit on potentially some of the code review you'll be getting into. And then 2304 establishes the statewide Housing Production Council, Advisory Council, which the staff, division staff will be helping to support in their work. I believe applications closed for that yesterday, but we had sent out some information. People were interested in volunteering to serve on that as well. Again, nothing for the board to take action on today, just some general information, but happy to answer any questions if anyone has any.
Is there anybody? Okay. Hearing none. So that covers A, B, and C, correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. Okay. Next is a review of committee recommendations for the new continuing ed. That is with you, Pierre.
Thank you, Chair Argue. Pierre Sabagh, Policy Analyst with the division. The board's Continuing Education Committee has been evaluating courses and instructors on the board's behalf. In January, the committee reviewed 11 applications from 3 organizations. 7 courses were recommended for approval. 4 instructors were recommended for approval. These are in your packets as well if you wanted to look at the courses or instructors. And a motion is needed to approve, amend, or deny the committee's recommendation. An example of this motion is in your help sheet. Thank you, Chair Argue.
Thank you. Did everybody get a chance to look at those? And I'll go ahead and make a motion unless there's something that needs to be discussed. Okay.
No.
I, Chair Argue, make a motion to approve the committee's recommendations for approval or denial of the courses for the instructors. Motion's been made. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, let's take a vote. Debbie, will you call?
Yes, sir. Molly Keller,
Aye.
Melissa Gett,
Aye.
Craig Anderson,
Aye.
Chair Travis Argue.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Wow. We got nothing left. Adjournment. Call to at 9:39, adjournment.